What is good, you guys? We're back with another video, and today we had two really good games today. In a different spot once again. Like I said last video, I'm in Jamaica, man. You feel what I'm saying? Just got done getting in a party, you know what I'm saying? Because it's super fun down here. But I still watch both of the games, and I still have to get this post-game recap out to y'all, because no matter if we're on vacation or not, we're still on the grind. You feel what I'm saying? So let's talk about this first game, man. This Phoenix Suns Los Angeles Clippers game. Really good game, man. And it showed that it made my my thinkings clear. It made my opinions look better in the light, because I've been saying this whole entire year Devin Booker is the best player on the team. And yeah, Chris Paul may be a better leader, playmaker, all of that may have been the finishing touch to this team, but Devin Booker is the foundation. He's been there the whole time. He's the main scorer. He's a guy that you can give a bucket to, and he showed you that he can facilitate when needed. Just a great all-around game. That little snake mid-range was money today, bro, and I love to see that from Dbook, because this is like his first year in the light, you know what I'm saying? I was watching the games with some of my family members, and he was like, man, I didn't even know about that. Look, I mean, this is not his fault, because he's more of a football guy, the guy I was talking to, but he was like, man, I didn't know too much about Devin Booker before last year in the bubble, and he's putting a lot of people on, and we love to see that from Dbook, man. We love to see it. But let's talk about some other players. You know, DeAndre Ayton. He said before the playoffs started, or in the first round, that he wanted to be the Bam Adebayo and Rudy Gobert type of player for a team, and well, he's been better than both, and shout out to you for that, my boy. He was really good in the first half, didn't do insane in the second half, but you know he's gonna be that great rim runner, decent rim protector, and it's gonna make more problems for the Los Angeles Clippers than what Rudy Gobert did, because he's just more agile, more mobile, you know what I'm saying? He does have stone cold feet when it comes to close down the perimeter, things like that, so it made it a little bit harder for the Los Angeles Clippers to shoot or pump fake and get past him, because he's just a little bit more of a mobile big, more modern, came out later. That's the type of bigs that you're gonna get in these later drafts, you know what I'm saying? Rudy Gobert, although not the oldest player in the world, he's in more of a previous draft class. You know, centers coming up today, they're just going to be agile. They're going to be mobile. That's the one thing that you can count on most of these centers being. So, shout out to DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Johnson, and especially Mikal Bridges, rim running and just getting a lot of easy dunks along with a couple of threes to really have a big game. Shout out to Mikal Bridges. And you know Jay Carter going to basically guard 1 through 5. Saw him guarding some Reggie Jackson. Started guarding some Paul George. I saw him guarding a little bit of Zubac a little bit when DeAndre Ayton was in the game. And I think like some switches and stuff when Sark was in. So, you know he's going to be able to guard 1 through 5, and we love that from him. Cameron Payne did okay in the start, but Cameron Johnson closed out the game. But shout out to Cam Payne, and Etuan Moore got those backup guard minutes, and I was wishing Javon Carter could have got it, because you know I'm a through the wire fan, and I became a fan knowing, you know, Pierre and watching him and stuff like that. So I wish Javon Carter would have got those minutes, but they still put out the dub, so who really cares, man? But let's talk about these Los Angeles Clippers. I'm not going to give up on them. I'm really not going to say anything negative until they go down 2-0. I mean, after 2-0, 3-0, and then I'm good. But they've done this every single series. They haven't won a game 1 yet, so I'm not too worried. This is still going to be a great series. Reggie Jackson, although the numbers look good, he wasn't great in the second half. Paul George, a couple really tough shots. I thought he could have got better shots, but he was on one today. It was a Devin Booker versus Paul George matchup today, and it lived up to the hype for most of the game. Devin Booker outplayed Paul George a little bit. Paul George still had an excellent game, so shout out to him. Marcus Morris and Batum, wish they could have got into it a little bit more. Patrick Beverly was doing really good on the defensive side, getting a couple good steals. And one thing that I praised Tyronn Lue for is being so fluid in his matchup changes. But I'm not sure Rajon Rondo was the answer today. He got a little bit more minutes than Kennard, you know what I'm saying? Got just the amount of the minutes that Beverly got, you know. It's always going to be fluid. Zubac didn't get many minutes this game. You know, that's one thing that you can praise Tyronn Lue for in this playoff run. And it seems like, I don't know, coaches can get into rhythms, but it seems like he's just in a rhythm, pulling in, pulling out. He got something going right now. But was Rondo the best move today? Not sure, but I'm sure that he's going to be a little bit more fluid. Kennard may get some more minutes, and he'll just keep going like that. So shout out to Tyronn Lue, not giving up on me, not saying he had a bad game coaching-wise at all, just pointing that out. But let's talk about this second game, man. Let's talk about the second game. It's the Sixers versus the Hawks. And man, oh man, we smoke on that Sixers pack, huh? Crazy, crazy. I heard people coming into the series saying that it was going to be a 5-game series. I had a podcast with Mojo99, him saying that they may only win one more game. I've heard a lot. He's a Hawks fan. I've heard a lot of negative stuff, and I saw him. I said on Twitter maybe a week ago, I was like, at Mojo99, don't give up on the squad yet, bro. And he didn't give up, and they pulled it out. Trae Young had one of maybe his worst game of the playoffs. But the thing about Trae Young is he's always going to be impactful. Always going to be impactful. In the third quarter, great assists. It seemed like him and Clint Capella had a very good connection in the third quarter, and he was diming the ball out, although he could not hit a shot, bro. And then he hit 2 shots in a row. I think early in the fourth quarter, got a little bit of a rhythm. Then he hit that dagger. Bow. And although he did get carried for some of the game, not gonna lie to you, Kevin Huerter came up huge. Shout out to Kevin Huerter, the Red Rocket. That should be his nickname. Whatever Matt Bonner's nickname was, they should give it to Kevin Huerter, because I remember he had a fire nickname. Can't remember it right now, but his nickname was fire. Go ahead, give it to Kevin Huerter, another redhead in the league. I think he had 27. When the Hawks GM said when he drafted Kevin Huerter that he wanted Kevin Huerter to be Trae Young's Klay Thompson, and all the other games are very, very similar. He stepped up when Trae needed him the most, and that's what a Klay Thompson for Steph does. Game 6, Klay Thompson. Game 7, Kevin Huerter, man. It's not the same thing. Not as good as a performance, although Kevin Huerter had a huge performance. It's kind of in the same vein, and you can see what the GM's thought process was behind that with a big game like this. Clint Capella, like I was saying, getting a lot of easy baskets from Trae Young with his passes. John Collins was doing decent. Bogdanovich fought through the knee injury, and once again didn't play in the fourth quarter, but fought through and had a couple nice plays. Danilo Gallinari with the defensive play of the game. Imagine getting gamed by a defensive possession by Danilo Gallinari. That is very, very, very tough. But he ended up pulling it through with that little back tap that Ben Simmons had been doing all game. And it ended up, the back tap from Gallinari was the one to win the game. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Big threes from Danilo Gallinari as well. But let's talk about the Sixers, man. The process, is it over? Want to talk about that? Not right now. Let's just talk about the game, man. Ben Simmons, I want to get the negatives out first. Ben Simmons, he's disappointed me, man, because although I have criticized him, I'm really a Ben Simmons supporter. I'm a Ben Simmons defender at times. I've made a couple of funny videos on my TikTok about Ben Simmons defender, and I'm not a defender like I was talking about in there. I know none of y'all know what I'm talking about, but I just try to describe and try to show some people that hate on him the impact that he has on the game. And although he had it a little bit facilitating wise, that play at the end of the game by Matisse, throwing it to Matisse Thybulle when you were wide open, just describes Ben Simmons' whole mental toughness. And I've been one to defend him, like I said, because all I say is everybody's like, Ben Simmons is a bad offensive player. I'm like, but he's the best defender in the league. And I use that for him a lot. But man, when you give up plays like that and you're in the paint where that's the only place that you actually score, and you give it to Matisse Thybulle and then he misses the free throw, it's just, that's a player-defining play, in my opinion, and it's really disappointing because I've been one to support Ben Simmons, and looking at a play like that, you're like, man, does he have it? Does he have it? Is he not driving to the rim because he doesn't want to get fouled? Is that in his head? Does he have the mental toughness to be a player that we think he can be? I'm not sure anymore, man, and it's really disappointing to watch. But that's all I got on Ben Simmons, man. For right now, that's all I got on Ben Simmons. Is that his last game as a Sixer? It's a good chance. It's a really good chance. Let's talk about Joel Embiid, man. Joel Embiid, another really good game. Efficient, you know what I'm saying? Bullying Clint Capella on some plays, like he's been doing all series, on a slightly torn meniscus. He's like that. Joel Embiid is the second running for MVP. We expected this from him. Had another Joel Embiid game. Don't have much to say about him. He had a couple turnovers like usual, but had some great defensive plays. Joel Embiid is most likely always going to play good. You know what I'm saying? So don't have much to say about that. But what I do have something to say about is, why is George Hill getting anything close to the minutes that Tyrese Maxey's getting? That makes no sense to me. I don't care about no veteran stuff. He wasn't making no veteran moves at all. Tyrese Maxey got that dog in him. Tyrese Maxey should have got way more minutes. He got one turnover, and he was pulled out in seconds for Furkan Korkmaz. It feels like, although he's been playing good and showing that he can be that guy, it seems like Doc Rivers still got that leash on on him, and he needs to pull it off. Well, he won't be pulling it off anymore because Doc is gone. Another blown game, another blown series, another lost game, another Game 7 loss. Man, Doc Rivers got a bad resume. I ain't gonna lie to you. That ring is looking less and less like his the day. Like, I mean, it's always gonna be his, and he's always gonna be that coach. But it's just that ring is starting to not being able to cover up all the bad spots in his resume anymore, because he got a lot of them, man. He got a lot of them, and that's tough to see because we love our black coaches in this league, but you're still a coach, man. You got to do your job, and he has not been doing his job whatsoever. Seth Curry, a couple big threes down the stretch wasn't enough. Matisse Thybulle with that missed three, and then a 6-point swing with Danilo Gallinari getting one on the other side. That was a big play in this game. And not a lot of Sixers showed up besides Embiid. Seth Curry, I felt, showed up well. I feel like Tyrese played good in the minutes that he got. Ben Simmons obviously didn't play great. Matisse Thybulle, although playing some decent defense on Trae Young. Him and Ben Simmons played really good defense on Trae Young because he had a bad game. Let's not forget that. Although I said Trae Young came in at vital times, he had a bad game, and you got to credit that to Matisse and Ben on the defensive end. But besides Seth and Joel, and once again, there wasn't a lot of offensive contribution outside of them two. Tobias Harris missed layup after layup. It felt like putback dunk, missed. Layup, missed. Off the glass, high layup, missed. It felt like he couldn't make one. And Tobias Harris is supposed to be that scorer for y'all, you know what I'm saying? And he wasn't that today. And the Hawks are in the Eastern Conference Finals. And what I have to say to Mavs fans, a message I have to all my Mavs fans out there: Trae Young and Luka Doncic is a good comparison. That's gonna go on forever. And I've been saying, I still say, yeah, Trae Young is 2 rounds ahead, right? But Luka's still better. But if Trae Young gets to the finals and beats this Bucks team, I can't defend this Trae Young propaganda anymore. I can't defend it against Luka. He's going to have to get farther next season. I'm going to just have to be quiet. I'm not going to agree with it. I'm going to just have to be quiet. But he gets to the finals, man, and beats Giannis and the crew, man. I can't say nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? He's in the finals. Luka got out in the first round, West or East, da-da-da-da. But I hope he doesn't, because I don't want to have to see all that propaganda on the timeline. I'm already seeing it now, but if he gets to the finals and Luka got bounced in the first round, although you can put all the variables in it, and if Clippers get to the finals, they lost to a finals team in the first round, and put them to 7 with no Kristaps, da-da-da-da, and the two teams after they lost to the Mavs didn't have to play Kawhi, da-da-da-da, it's still first round finals. That's all people are going to have to say. And I don't want to defend that. That's what I'm thinking about right now. And I'm rooting for the Bucks because of that. I've been rooting for the Hawks this entire time. But I can't have that on my timeline, man. It's gonna make me too mad, bro. It's going to make me too mad. So I'm rooting for the Bucks in these Eastern Conference Finals. Haven't rooted for them all season, man. Got a funny Bucks fan that's a really good friend of mine. I've been talking a lot of trash to him. And got to eat it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just go ahead and go to the other side because I want them to beat the Hawks because of that reason. And then the Clippers, Sun Series, pulling for the Clippers, pulling for PG-13. Hopefully he can get this one out because there'll be no PGA on the TL. There's none right now, but y'all gonna have to be silent for I'm gonna pull out receipts too. I haven't been the biggest PG supporter, but I've never been one to hate like a lot of these people have been. And now I want to see him pull it out, although I am a Suns fan as well. So those are who I'm rooting for. Those are not my predictions. Those are who I'm rooting for in the 2 series right now. So if you like this type of content, go and like the sub if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time. I forgot to mention something, man. If you're at the end of the video, if you're watching this, I just spent a lot of time. I pre-recorded this a couple days ago, but I spent a lot of time on this new series, this new video, and I appreciate if y'all watch this. I put a lot of time into this. These post-game reactions are pretty reactionary, and I know I talk to the camera, but they take a lot of script and a lot of creativity to make this video that I just posted earlier today. So I appreciate if y'all watch this after this video, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm gonna change if you haven't already. See you guys next time.